Love-conned. Imagine falling in love with someone only to realize your relationship is filled with lies and deception. Well, that's what happened to Benita Alexander. The single mom had been swept off her feet and into a fairy tale romance with an esteemed surgeon. But days before her lavish wedding, her entire world came crashing down. Now, Benita is reliving the devastating events that led to the unraveling of her epic love story.
I wanted to wish you a beautiful day and tell you that I love you.
He was the man of her dreams.
I'm so excited to see you again. I'm in love with you.
Paolo Machiarini seemingly adored Benita Alexander.
Wow, you're so beautiful.
He showered her with endless surprises.
Wow! Oh my God!
He was Mr. Charming. He was Mr. Perfect. I mean, there was nothing this guy didn't do right. Almost every day was a surprise. He would write love notes on the mirror and lipstick and leave rose petals all over the place. And every time we went on vacation, it was some big, elaborate surprise. Even people in the hotel would be like, oh my gosh, how do I get a man like that?
Paolo was a thoracic surgeon and considered a pioneer in regenerative medicine. The so-called super surgeon was credited with the world's first synthetic organ transplant. Benita, an Emmy Award-winning producer for NBC, met Paolo in 2013. She was producing the 2-hour special, A Leap of Faith, hosted by Meredith Vieira.
You take chances, you're a risk taker.
Well, as a surgeon, you are a risk taker, especially if you do these crazy things.
Inspired by Paolo, Benita took her own big risk. She gave up her job, packed up her daughter, and prepared to move to Spain to begin the rest of her life with Paolo.
This is the place where you belong, my love. And this is the place where you and I will live for the rest of our life.
Everybody thought it was real. I thought it was real. My friends were jealous, men included.
The wedding date was set, July 11th, 2015 in Rome. Paolo told Benita the Pope was going to marry them, and he wanted the nuptials to be full of surprises.
He told me, you just buy a beautiful dress and show up and look beautiful. I'm going to do the rest.
But the biggest surprise of all, the Pope had no plans to be in Rome on Benita's wedding day. The single mom was forced to face a titanic truth.
He literally lied about everything. Once I started investigating, it was like a house of cards. It just tumbled so quickly.
Benita discovered her fiancé was still married to his wife of 30 years. She and her girlfriends went to Paolo's house in Barcelona looking for answers. What she uncovered was completely devastating.
Here I am, 5 days after we were supposed to walk down the aisle, and I discovered that he has another family in this house and 2 young children. Ultimately, what I found out is he had never legally gotten divorced. He never could have legally married me in the first place. And then on top of that, he has another family in the house where he told me we were moving, and young children. And after that, I found out there was even another family.
Yup, Paolo apparently had at least 3 families. As for his medical practice, the star surgeon was being accused of scientific misconduct and unethically performing experimental surgeries.
It's not only painful, it's really embarrassing and really humiliating. How did I fall for this? I'm an investigative journalist. I am not supposed to fall for this. I am not supposed to be conned.
But Benita was love-conned. Galvanized by grief, Benita produced the documentary He Lied About Everything to expose Paolo.
Could my love really be the biggest lie in medical history?
In hindsight, I could have, found out earlier. My biggest mistake was not listening to my gut.
As a result of the medical scandal, Paolo Machiarini was fired from 2 prestigious universities, and Swedish authorities have reopened an investigation into the deaths of 2 of his patients. As for the love scandal, Benita has started dating again. She admits she's very cautious, but she calls herself a hopeless romantic who still believes in love.